Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today is the 7th day of Vlogaween or Vlogmas. It's neither of those. It's the 7th day of Summerween and the start of our last Summerween vlog. It is currently 10:48 in the morning. I am getting a little bit of a later start with my Summerween progress because I had to get up and mow the yard, and then I had to sit on the couch and not die for a while because it is hot today. But I did finish a book while I was mowing and sitting on the couch. It's not a Summerween book, but I did finish The Undercutting of Rosie and Adam by Megan Bannon and love it. I had an advanced listener copy. That book was published. It came out on Tuesday, July 8th. Highly, highly recommend. It is part of a series. It's the third one in the Heart and Mercy series, but it was so, so good. I discovered these books last month in June, and I have now read all 3 of them because I just love them all so much. Anyway, back to Summerween. So, out of the 5 prompts, we have completed 3 of them. Read a book with a house. Read a book with a sky on the cover. I read When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. This is a window, there's the sky. Loved this book, 5 stars. Adore Nat Cassidy. He just has a way of bringing in like old school horror and kind of reinterpreting it in a way that to me is very entertaining and fascinating. Love this one. The next prompt that we finished was to read a novella, manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook. I read #ThightGap by Chandler Morrison. This is an extreme horror novella where you're following Helen Troy. She is a model and her pursuit to be as thin as she possibly can. And you are in her head the whole time. Very, very triggering content warnings for body dysmorphia, for ED, for slimness. I enjoyed it, but it is an extreme horror, so please keep that in mind if you decide to pick this one up. The last prompt we finished right now is to read a horror or thriller book. I read The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. This is a post-apocalyptic zombie story. You are following 10-year-old Melanie. This is her. She lives in a facility and doesn't know anything about the outside world. I really like this one. It is a movie. I'm hoping to watch the movie soon, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. I might wait until Summerween is over just because I have a lot of reading to do still. But anyway, I really, really like this one too. I think I gave it a 4. I might have bumped it to a 4.5. I really enjoyed this one. So the 2 prompts that we have left are to read a book that I have owned for over a year. I am reading Burn the Negative by Josh Winning. I am on chapter 24, page 267 out of 352, I think. So, a little less than, my bookmarks always have a chain and they crinkle on the back. They hit on the back and annoys me. A little less than 100 pages left. I should have no problem finishing this today. It's getting really crazy. In this one, you are following Laura Warren. She is a journalist who has been assigned to cover a remake of this 90s movie. The reimagining, as the director calls it, is called It Bleeds. It is a reimagining of a 90s horror movie called The Guest House that was cursed. After the movie came out, 8 people from the cast died. And mysteriously they died in the same order, in the same very similar ways to the characters in the movie. Well, Laura Warren starred in that movie at 8 years old in the 90s. And now she has to cover the reimagining. And it seems that the new movie is just as cursed as the original one was. I really like it. I've never read anything by Josh Winning. He also wrote Heads Will Roll and something else too, but I've never read any of his stuff. I'm enjoying this one so far. I like the character work. It's spooky. I love books about like Hollywood and films, so highly enjoying this one. The last prompt I have to finish is to read a book at night or in the dark. I am reading The Return by Rachel Harrison. I am on chapter, I can't remember. Oh, I stopped in the middle of a chapter last night because I was real tired. Chapter 7? No, that's where I was last night. Oh my gosh, these chapters are so long. Oh no, it's chapter 6. Page 220 out of 296. So less than 70 pages. No, less than 80 pages. Anyway, I'll finish this one tonight too. Which is good because I don't want to be waiting until the very last minute tomorrow night, because tomorrow's the last day of Summerween, to finish this one. I'm really enjoying this one, which I am very surprised about because, again, Rachel Harrison and I think I've given all of her books that I've read like a 3 or a 3.5. Right now, I would say this is a 4 at least. It's creepy. There are some parts that I'm just like, yep, wouldn't want that to happen to me. So, what is this book? I haven't even described it. This book is about a group of friends, and one of the friends goes missing. Well, 2 years later, Julie shows up on her porch with no knowledge or memory of where she's been for the last 2 years. So the 4 of them decide to go on a girls' trip for the weekend to reunite, and our narrator, Elise, finds out, notices that Julie is not acting like herself, and she's starting to wonder if maybe Julie isn't the person who came back from being gone for 2 years. It's also taking place in a hotel that may or may not be haunted, and that's creepy, and I really like it. I never thought that I would feel this way about a Rachel Harrison book. Now, there's a lot of times that I have enjoyed them until it gets to the end, so let's see. I hope I can keep this feeling going and just really enjoy this one and have some success with a Rachel Harrison book. And so, once I finish these 2, I will be done with all 5 prompts of Summerween. I do have some more books that I could read. I have one library book that I need to read that's a horror book. I have another library book that's a horror book that's ready to be picked up, which I might go do that today. And also, Out Here Screaming is on my July TBR, which is a collection of 19 short stories written by Black authors. And so I may get started on this, I may not, I don't know. But anyway, again, this is all me, unless you're participating too. And again, I want to know, how are you doing? What are you reading? Are you getting to the second to last day and still struggling to finish prompts just like I am? It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, let me finish this one and then I'll pop back on and kind of go over the choices that we have of books that I can read, because again, I will finish Burn the Negative today. I have less than 100 pages, and even though it is almost 11 o'clock, I have no plans today. So, as long as I don't take a nap, which I shouldn't need to because I did sleep a little bit late and then again mowed the yard, and as long as I don't get sucked into watching those Sims 4 Let's Plays, James Turner, he's just so addicting to watch. I should have no trouble. I should be able to finish Burn the Negative fairly early in the day, in the afternoon, and then we'll talk about what I want to read next. Okay, that's it for now. I'll talk to you soon. Bye! Hello, hello. I don't know what that was. Okay, hi. It is 2:17. I am finally done with Burn the Negative. I finished it a little bit ago, but then I was on my phone and, you know how it goes. I really liked this book. The ending was not something that I necessarily saw coming. I enjoyed it. I don't know if I enjoyed it enough that I will read it more than once, but I did really enjoy it. 4 stars. I liked it. The movie that was made in this book sounds friggin' creepy. I kind of wish it was a real movie because I would like to watch it. The Guest House sounds scary. But anyway, whoops. I just slid it off. With that, we have finished 4 out of 5 prompts. Doing so well. And again, I can't read The Return right now because it is only 2:17. It's nowhere close to being dark right now. And I don't really feel like sitting in my closet or the bathroom to read just to finish that, when I know that if I just wait a couple more hours, I'll be able to finish it tonight once the sun goes down. So I am going to go ahead and start another book. I have Brainworms by Alison Rumfitt from the library. It is due soon-ish, so I need to read it. It is 297 pages, but the font is not super bad. Super big, small. So, this is, I don't know, queer. about, it's about queer relationships. And possibly, gross. It says, Rumfit is a master of disgust, twisting the horrors of transphobia into a hellish masterpiece, and you won't be able to look away. So, it's gonna be gross. I love it. I'm so excited. I have seen this book. I don't know if I've ever actually heard a review about it. I know a lot of people have read it. It's been at my library. I always found reasons not to pick it up. I decided to pick it up this last time. But also, I picked it up at the end of May. My library, if there's no one on hold, if there's not a book, if there is no one waiting for the book, my library lets you keep it for up to a total of 9 weeks. This is the last time that I can put it, like, check it out again, though. So I have to finish it. Otherwise, I have to turn it back in and not read it. So I'm going to start this one. Also because it's a horror book. This one is broken up into parts. I can see that it is. So I will probably check in between parts and let you know kind of how it's going. I'm not going to get started with this right away. Well, I probably will. I also need to edit my vlog from Wednesday and Thursday, because that's days 3 and 4. No, it's not. It's 4 and 5. Right? It's 5 and 6. Days 5 and 6. I want to post that vlog today, and then I'll film today and tomorrow and post that vlog on Sunday. So I do need to edit that in a little bit, but I don't want to right now. So probably going to go ahead and start on Brainworms, do a little editing, and then I'll check in and let you know when I get to part 2 of the book. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hello. It is 8:17. I just got to part 2 of Brainworms by Alice Rumfit. I know I started this a while ago, but I did end up editing my video right away, scheduling it to post. It has been posted now. My husband got home. We went to the store, had dinner, blah, blah, blah. All of that. So I am on page 115, which is the beginning of part 2. I don't know how many parts there are. I haven't looked at that. Maybe just 3. So it looks like probably 3. Yes. So the first part was called Heartworms, where you meet our main character, Frankie. She is a trans woman who works for a gender affirming care. No, she did work in a clinic like that, but there was a explosion. Now she does censoring for the internet. Anyway, you met Frankie. She met Vanya, who is I don't know if they are non-binary. They use they, them pronouns. They hit it off. It is very much, it's not spice. It's not even really smut. It is extreme horror. Extreme horror. Talking about smutty things. Not the whole thing. It does talk about the relationship and some of the things they've done, but it's definitely like a BDSM relationship. And there was the bomb that was at Frankie's work was set by someone who does not believe in trans people or trans rights. And so there's a subset of characters that are also against trans people and say trans women aren't real women. I did not realize that I was going to be getting into extreme horror and like controversial political things when I decided to pick this book up. I am liking it so far. It reads really quickly. Once I had a chance to sit down and actually read through it, it read really quickly. So again, I'm on page 115. There's a little less than 300 pages. Because it is only 8:20, I am going to read some more of Brainworms tonight. It looks like the second part, which is called Gutworms, is very, very long. The third part doesn't start until 2:53. So I don't know if I'm going to get all the way through the second part today before I start reading The Return. I'm going to start reading this in about 45 minutes, waiting for the sun to go down. Again, it won't even set for another 20 minutes or so, but then I'll start reading this. I should be able to finish this tonight. I have, what, 70 pages? 80? A little less than 80 pages. This is definitely reading very quickly, so I should be able to finish this one tonight. And then, once I finish this, I will officially have read all 5 books for my prompts. I do still hope to finish this one, just to get one more book, you know, read. And I need to read this one anyway and return it to the library. And I do have a book ready for pickup at the library, so it'd be nice if I could just do like one trip where I return this one and pick up the other one. We'll see if that happens or not. Okay. I just wanted to update you. I told you I'd update you when I got to part 2. I've done that. I'm going to go continue to read Brainworms. Once the sun goes down and it gets dark, I will start reading The Return. I will check in probably at least one more time tonight, but I also am kind of tired, so I'll see if I want to feel like being on camera or not. And if I don't, then I won't check in and you'll see me in the morning. But I'll try to check in at least one more time tonight. But we'll see. All right, that's it for now. Bye! Good morning. Welcome to day 8, the last day of Summerween. I did not check in last night because I started reading The Return and just got so locked in and invested that I finished it. And then by the time I finished it, I was like way too tired to get back on camera. I didn't feel like it. So I finished The Return. I really liked this book. I think I'm going to give it a 4, which is the highest that I've ever given a Rachel Harrison book. I don't know. I really connected with this one more. I don't know why, but I connected with this one more. I enjoyed the story. I liked the ending. I'm glad I read it. And yeah. Also, with that, I officially finished all 5 prompts of Summerween. We did it! Quickly to go over the prompts, read a book at night or in the dark. I read The Return by Rachel Harrison. Read a horror or thriller book. I read The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. Read a book with a sky on the cover. I read When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. I've said it a million times, this is a window, so this is the sky. Read a book that you've owned for over a year. I read Burn the Negative by Josh Whitting. And read a novella, manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook. I read #ThighGap by Chandler Morrison. So, yay! It always feels good to get all the prompts done. I've always been able to complete all of them, but it just like, I feel so successful when I actually get them done. Now, even though I have finished all of the prompts, we still have a full day left. And I started reading Brainworms by Alison Rumfitt yesterday. I figured I would try to get one more book in. I realized I didn't even show you what time it is. It is 10:35. I'm having kind of a late start today. It is Saturday. We slept in a little bit. But since I started this yesterday, I'm hoping to finish it today. I did read some more last night before the sun went down. Whoops, I can never find my place with these specific bookmarks. They're so, I don't know why. Anyway, this is my Sailor Moon one, which is nice, but has seen better days because already some of the colors coming off. But anyway, I am on chapter 5, page 139, and there are, 297 pages. So almost halfway. Again, this is the only thing I have to read now. If I don't finish it, it's not that big of a deal because, you know, this is just an extra book for Summerween, but it would be really cool if I could go ahead and finish this. Also, because I need to take it back to the library. And I have a book on hold from the library. I have Overgrowth by Mira Grant. That's their newest book. Mira Grant is the pen name for Shauna Maguire, and I can't remember if Shauna Maguire uses they, them pronouns, or if they've started using she, her pronouns. And I don't know what they use when they write as Mira Grant, because I've never read about the author. Anyway, that is a complete tangent. I do need to go pick that up today. So even if I don't return this today, even if I don't finish and return this one today, I do need to go pick up Overgrowth because it will only stay in my library kiosk for a couple of more days because they only keep them for like a week. Anyway, I'm gonna go. read some more Brainworms. I'm in the middle of part 2. There is a third part. That one starts like 250 something. So I will check in again and let you know. I will check in again when I get to part 3 and let you know kind of like what time it is, how we're doing, all that good stuff. Okay. That's it for now. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Hello, welcome back. I left my phone in the living room because I had to put it away from me because I kept picking it up and getting on TikTok. So it is 1:58. You're just gonna have to, you can't see, but 1:58. It's upside down. Anyway, also, I'm really cold apparently. I got to part 3 of Brainworms by Alison Rumfitt. That starts on page 253 and there's what, 297. So I have less than 50 pages left. I will finish this today. Extreme horror. It's talking a lot about worms, obviously, brain, worms, parasites, fetishes. I don't know. It's reading easily, like I got through a lot of it today. There is one point in the book where the author even says, like, breaks the fourth wall and says, I just dropped my tripod. Not the tripod that you're on, obviously, my phone tripod. Alison Rumfitt put a note in there saying, hey, a lot is happening in this book. I want you as a reader to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, so stop, get a drink, take a walk. A lot's gonna happen in the next couple chapters. It's some big stuff we're diving into, and boy howdy, did it happen. I'm really enjoying it. There is one character that's been talked about that is very, very she who shall not be named coded. She's an author and follows that line of thinking. And so it's interesting. It's very interesting. It is very extreme horror in a completely different way than #ThightGap was. Like, that extreme horror is very different than this extreme horror, but they're both extreme horror. So I am enjoying it. Again, I will finish it today. My son is at basketball practice right now. When he gets back, we're taking the kids out to my sister-in-law's house. They're gonna spend the night there. And we have to go grocery shopping. I'm hoping that I can finish this book before we go grocery shopping. Because I want to see how it's going to end. I don't know if that's going to happen. I will check in when I finish the book, and depending on what time it is, we'll kind of talk about what the rest of the day is going to look like. I may decide to pick up another horror book. I don't really have anything on my TBR that I could finish today. So, and honestly, the only horror book I have left on my TBR is Out Here Screaming. I might go ahead and start that because it is a short story collection. It's hard for me to like sit there and read short stories all in a row. So I might go ahead and start that today. But I might just pick something else up from my TBR, even though it's not a horror book, because today is the last day of Summerween and I need to get started on my TBR, the rest of my TBR. I'm rambling. I'm gonna go. Bye. Hello. It is 6:54 on the last day of Summerween. I did finish Brainworms by Alison Rumfitt. I finished this a long time ago, but my son got home from practice. We had to drive them out to my sister-in-law's house. We went to Costco on a Saturday afternoon. That was an adventure. Then we had dinner, like came home, had dinner. Anyway, I did finish this. Extreme horror. Definitely some parts very gross, very difficult to read. This leans more toward like body horror, gross out. I still really liked it. I think I'm gonna go with a 4 on this one too. All of the books that I read this week were a 4 or above, and I love that for me because in Winterween I had like 2 or 3 books that were a 3.5, and that was no fun. So I'm very happy. Okay. Although it is only 7 p.m., I don't really have anything else to start reading, like anything horror Summerween related. I finished all the prompts, yay me. I think I might go ahead and watch The Girl with All the Gifts tonight, because since I read that this week, there's a movie on Prime. I think I might watch that. But let's go over the entire week. So remember, there were 5 prompts. Prompt 1, read a book at night or in the dark. I read The Return by Rachel Harrison. I gave this one a 4. Really, really enjoyed it. This is probably the Rachel Harrison book that I've enjoyed the most out of all the other ones that I've read. And I've read, I think, all of them except for her short stories. So, yay. We finished this one last night, and so that was one prompt. The next prompt, read a horror or thriller book. I read The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. 4.5, really, really loved this one. Zombies done in a typical but also new way, and I liked that. Read a book with a sky on the cover. I read When the Wolf Comes Home by Nat Cassidy. This was a 5-star book. This is the 3rd Nat Cassidy book that I've read. All of them have been 5 stars. I adore his writing. I adore his plots. This one went in a way that I was not expecting, and I had so much fun reading it. Next was to read a book that you'd owned for over a year. I read Burn the Negative by Josh Winning. Also gave this one a 4. I love books about haunted, cursed film. Love books about Hollywood. This one was really super fun. The last book I read for a prompt was to read a novella, manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook. I read #ThightGap by Chandler Morrison. Also gave that one a 5. Extreme horror. Very many content warnings, especially about body dysmorphia, EDs, body image, mental health. But I really, really enjoyed that one. And then, because I had everything finished and I had, you know, a day and a half left, I read Brainworms by Alison Rumfitt and gave this one a 4. So, all in all, in 8 days, I was able to read and finish 6 books. And that just feels so good. I finished another book too, but it was an audiobook that wasn't part of Summerween, and I started listening to it at the end of last month. So we're not counting that for Summerween. But I did like that one too, The Undercutting of Rosie and Adam. Great book. It is out now. It was published this last Tuesday. I highly recommend reading that one. But that's not why we're here. We're here because we read all these books this week. Look at all the books I read. Well, and imagine one right here, because I didn't have #ThightGap. I read that like as on my Kindle. So imagine it right here. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. I like the color too. We got black, green, red, yellow, pink. Kind of goes well together. I had so much fun this week. I love participating in Summerween. I love reading spooky books, and I love knowing that other people are reading spooky books at the same time I am. I hope you've enjoyed these vlogs. Thank you to everyone who has checked them out. Thank you to new subscribers. I am trying to get more consistent with my channel. Let me know what you want to see from me, because I'm open to ideas of what kind of videos you want to see from me. That's just a plug at the end of a video, which is when I always do it, and never at the beginning of a video, which is when I should do it. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all those other YouTube-y things that I'm supposed to say. And now I want to know, have you read any of these books, and what did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye!